Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Monday Night America here on the NDB Media Network. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We haven't been on Monday for a little while. We've been on numerous other nights, but boy, do we have a surprise, and we are really jazzed about tonight, folks. I'm going to screw it up. I'm terribly excited. So, Michael, why don't you let us know what's going to be happening tonight?
Tonight, we have a special guest with us. Rhys Slack from the Amazon Prime series Upload. Hopefully you all have seen that. If you haven't seen it, you need to. Rhys is wonderful in it. And I mean, he made me laugh so much. And anybody that knows me, it takes a lot for TV shows to make me laugh. I usually do not laugh. There's only a few shows that I laugh at, and that was one.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome you, Rhys, to NBB Media and to Monday Night in America.
I'm happy to be here.
Rhys, thank you. I'm gonna throw your agent under the bus right away because that's the way I operate. We were supposed to send questions in advance, and we did. But I want to let you know, I know we're probably not going to see you again in the future because of it. But all kidding aside, we just want to let you know that this being your first interview, Rhys, we're not going to pin you down with dumb questions. We're not going to, try to make you look. This is a conversation, Rhys, especially knowing that we're privileged to have your first interview. I want to just share with you that we really just want to have a conversation. So knowing that, I want to let everyone know who's watching us across all the network. We have quite a few people on our different channels and stations watching us. Folks, let us know who you are and where you hail from. We would love to know. If you have a comment, write it in the chat room. We will display it on air. If you have a question for Rhys, they're probably going to be better and smarter than ours. So we would love to have them, and it will be up to Rhys whether he wants to answer it or not. So we actually have quite a few people watching us on our main channel on YouTube, which is surprising. Usually it's on the Facebook pages, but we have quite a few people. Folks, seriously, if you're not able to comment through YouTube, you can join us at www.facebook, theevilmonster.com/NDB Media or twitch.tv/NDB Media. Then we can see all of your comments and we can get along and respond that much quicker. But I guess I'm just going to go ahead and fire it off. I'm going to steal the questions from Michael, but Rhys, really don't be shy. And if we're overdoing it, just put us in our place. We've been put in our place before on air. So I want to welcome you and thank you. And we didn't ask how much time we have with you. So folks, we always screw up. We never ask the guest that. So all of a sudden, if you see messages going back and forth, it wasn't planned. So I'm just going on right now. Rhys, since this is your first interview, why don't you go ahead and let us know, how'd you get started in acting, please? And there's the first question. So why don't you...
I'll answer the first question. I got started in acting through Young Shakespeareans program. So there's a Shakespeare camp on near where I live, and it's basically we'll do like a semi play, and we'll get started with that, and it's a good way to get kids introduced to acting. And I got into that, and after I think it was the second or third production I'd done, one of the instructors was like, "I need to get you an agent," and I was surprised at first. And we went back and forth, and about a year later, I actually ended up getting in contact with his agent, and then I was signed on, and now I'm working with Connect. So it was pretty sudden and quite fast with one of my acting instructors from a summer camp for play acting. And I've been in a few projects. I've been in, I think the first big one I was in was DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which was a lot of fun. It's a CW show. I've been in The Haunting of Bly Manor, which was a lot of fun as well. Upload, obviously, what I'm here for primarily, and then also Scaredy Cats is another good one, as well as 2 different Hallmark Christmas movies, those are all a lot of fun.
I want to thank Daphne Hoskins for asking that question. Before I get to Michael, we did mention that we are here for Upload, but actually we're here for you, Rhys, because we do want to know what you've done. Obviously, Upload is probably one of the, well, I'm probably wrong on this, but it's one of the bigger profile ones but you are working right now and you are working on the stuff. We're going to talk about it all. I was going to say bore you to death, but I don't think that's possible right
I
now.
feel like I'd prefer not to be bored to death. I'm fine to be bored, just not.
We definitely want to do that. We don't want to do that, but it's all good. But folks, you've seen it. You have a question, let us know, and we will post it right here. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and you were in the Scaredy Cats, that was interesting. That was witches and scary
Warlock.
things and warlock. Yeah, you were a warlock.
I was.
If I ruin it, I don't care. But I really want to know, did you really enjoy flying on a broom?
I did. It was a lot of fun. I was actually, out of everyone, even though I was one of the later people in the actual show to be flying, I was the first person to be filmed flying on the broom.
Really?
And it was, yeah, I was, and it was a lot of fun. Because you're strapped into a rig and lifted into the air like 15 feet. It was a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Well,
and okay, go ahead.
Ross is trying to be funny here.
Yes, I know he is.
Hallmark Christmas movies. Dude, it's a job. And
Hallmark Christmas movies are incredible. Excuse you.
Yes, that's right. But welcome, Ross. Thank you for joining us from Utah. Daphne, where are you from, if you don't mind? And I did promise, we did already receive our first like. Ross, thank you very much. Folks, likes, follows, we appreciate them. We need them. And we are in love with those. But all kidding aside, I do want to give a shout out to someone who did us a favor and shared today's program. And that was, of course, I believe it was a Jenny Slack. Is there any relation there, Rhys?
No, none at all. That's
Oh,
definitely
okay.
not my mom. No.
No,
no.
definitely not. Okay.
No. Why? No.
That was good. All right, Michael, go ahead. I did a bad job of interrupting you.
Well, I know, but what do you
Good job.
Did you enjoy working with some actors your own age in Scaredy Cats, or didn't you care?
Well, I actually, yeah, no, I did. I very much. I was gonna make a sarcastic comment, but they don't deserve that. It was a lot of fun to work.
They might be watching, so be careful.
They were a lot of fun.
Yes, Ross, no doubt about that. Folks, we actually have quite a few people watching, and come on, guys, love to hear your questions. Most of them are on the NDB Media YouTube page. I don't know if they're able to comment, and we're able to see them immediately. So give it a shot. Let us know who you are and where you hail from. I'm sure Rhys would like to know where his fans are. They're not here for us. They're here for Rhys. There's no doubt about that. So going to upload, did you have any idea what it was going to be like? Because I guess this was a much bigger production with Amazon. Were you ready for it at such a tender and mature age?
Of what was that? 12, 11?
Right.
11,
Was I
12,
younger than
yeah.
that? Well, it was 2019, so I was like 12. Yeah. I was. I think I was at the very beginning. It was a bit overwhelming because I wasn't used to big scale productions, but the casting crew there were incredible. They were really nice. They were really supportive, and they somewhat treated me like an adult, but also respected the fact that I'm a child, so I needed to be pampered a little bit, you know. But it was a lot of fun. Like I had. It was one of the best experiences I've had on set was there. The crew were incredible.
And where did they film that?
That was actually here in Vancouver.
Was in
they
Vancouver.
filmed it around here, yeah.
So not too far away from home then.
No.
Well, that's a good thing. And what was your favorite? Oh, what would I say? What was your favorite part about playing Dylan, or
geez.
you know, just what did you enjoy most of it? And did you channel anybody you knew to make him come alive?
For Dylan, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed being able to play somebody older who's frustrated about being younger. It was such a cool dynamic that I'd never thought about before. And I don't think I didn't really base it off anybody. I kind of broad toxic masculinity, but that's kind of what Dylan's character is. So it was, I I didn't really base it off anybody, but it was a lot of fun to play. I very much enjoyed the aspect of being older in that character.
Babsy Brooke says she loves your work.
Thank you.
Donna Parker says, hi, folks. And folks, if I do get the gender wrong, I do apologize. It just dawned on me it may not be. So I ask you to forgive me. I'm an old dinosaur, and sometimes I assume incorrectly. Now, on Upload, it's a mature program. Have you been able to see the program in its entirety?
I watched it the day it came out.
You did?
My parents were well, they basically went, don't do this in real life. Obvious, like don't be Dylan. And I'm like, wow, really? Oh, I never really thought of that. The person who's obviously a bad person at the beginning. Anyways, but it was I did end up watching it when it first came out. It was a lot of fun. Originally I was very much like, whoa, it's super mature and super adult content. I think there might have been one scene where I was made to look away, but it wasn't really. I was there for most of it, so it wasn't that big of a. It wasn't that big of a difference watching it, considering I was already there on set for most of it.
Let me ask, as far as being on set, we've been able to speak to others that have been on virtual reality sets and then the green screen sets. What was it? Because when we see where you're at that facility, it's like an older hotel.
Yeah.
What is it? A real set? How was it?
So the Lakeview Hotel was
Yes.
The outside of the building was a real building, and a lot of the rooms were also real. But we were also whenever we did outside filming scenes, we were actually at a real hotel that looked like that. And the indoor scenes were done in a studio. So they had built those indoor rooms, and we went through them in a big studio complex. And it was really cool actually, because you would walk into a warehouse and it would just be like you could see 3 completely different places in the hotel, but you could see all of them, and you got to go into each of them whenever you were filming there.
So so how many days were you there? How many weeks for what you had to film? Or you said you were there most of the time?
Well, for most of it, there was a lot of. I was on set for a lot of the days. I wasn't in most of them, but I was probably there for 2-3 weeks if I remember. I can't. It's been so long. I can't actually remember how long I was on set specifically, but I think it was something like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so 3 weeks and then you're done.
Now, curious. Normally, when we speak to people that are on programs, they have like a 7 or 8 day shoot per episode. Was it like that, or did you film, since it's Amazon Prime, just like Netflix? I know, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but they drop everything at once. Was it kind of done the same way, or did they just give you everything to do at once?
I think it was for Upload. It was a lot of I think it was mostly one episode at a time, but there were a lot of times where they bled into each other. Like if you were filming, like there were 3 different episodes with the same set piece, you would film a lot of those scenes on the same day because it was much easier for production. But it was mostly episodic when we were filming them.
Wow. All right. You know what? Actually, we're starting to get quite a few questions now, and I do appreciate that. We're going to get to each and every one. I want to give a shout out to Maggie Sisti. I hope I'm getting that right, but we appreciate the light. Folks, again, let us know who you are and where you hail from. We appreciate it. Babsy, being given scripts and doing the auditions is quite a quick turnaround time. How do you memorize lines so fast?
I practice a lot. It's basically, originally when I first got it, it was very difficult for me to keep on track of them. And it amounts to basically banging your head against a wall until it sticks, at least for me. I just kept reading the lines until I could say, like, I would go one line at a time, and then like I make it so I can say that line without reading it, and then I move to the next one and like say the first line and then the second line and then the first line, and I just keep doing that all the way down. But it's practice, really. I mean, at the beginning you're not going to be very good at it, and then you improve over time.
Are we ever going to see any blooper reels on some of the stuff you've done?
There were some really good blooper reels on
I
Upload that I'm sad I wasn't part of.
Oh, hopefully we will, but right now with the digital age, it takes a while for them to upload some of that. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Pardon the pun.
Hey, that's the thing.
Yeah, I was 15 minutes in. I finally got it in there, so I apologize. Inkpin is asking any tips for getting into acting at a young age, which is today for you, Rhys.
Getting into so the way I obviously I got it through an acting camp, but probably the better way to do it is there are definitely like like there are a lot of places that do filming and host where they'll like film auditions and whatnot. We'll have a bunch of classes like acting classes. I know the one I still go to it actually do acting classes there, and they have a showcase at the end of the year where you'll basically get a bunch of agents will be in a room and you'll do an audition in front of them, and if they like it, they'll reach out to you and see if they can book you or whatever, or have you on their roster.
Ross is asking, summertime, or did you have to do the private tutor thing for school? Since you were there for about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, what was the deal? Did you have to go to school at that point?
So what it is on acting on film sets is it's if you are shooting for longer than 3 days in a row, they are required to give you a tutor to do the schoolwork that you missed. I don't think I ever, or not 3 weeks in a row, 3 days in a row, 3 days in a week. And there were times where I had to have a tutor on set, but most of the time I wasn't. It was kind of spread out over a couple weeks, so it wasn't that I was shooting like 5 days a week for 3 weeks, but it was I had like 15 days of shooting spread out over a couple months. Or 2 months ish. So it was I never actually had to do private schooling because I was still going to school and just occasionally would leave for like a week or two to go do the filming for that.
I want to give a shout out to Alan Tomlinson. Thank you for the like. Appreciate it. And now Melia. I'm going to butcher this one. Sorry, Melia. Is it Hoj? Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Hoj. Do you like avocados?
Very controversial question. I don't know if I can answer this one on air. Yes, I like avocados. They're great.
Good stuff. Ross has another comment. He says, and you don't have to do Disney Channel shows.
Yeah, from what I've heard, Disney Channel shows were, I mean, I really enjoyed watching them, and they seemed like fun places to work for the most part, but they've seemed, I mean, it's child actors, so everything's a little bit stressful for them.
Yes. Of course. Inkpin comes back with another one. Have you met any friends through acting and theater?
Yes, I have met a lot of different. I mean, a lot of the times you'll stay at you'll do the acting camps, summer camps, and you'll be with people for weeks at a time, and eventually you're kind of forced to make friends to an extent. But I mean, most people who do theater are nice people, and you can make fun friendships and whatnot. So I still have some friends from even this summer's summer camps that I did, and my acting classes around the year. I still have some friends from there.
Before I hand it back off to Michael for a few other questions, on a personal level, when you mentioned how you had to have a tutor for certain times, I have to believe then you were attending regular school while this was going on. How did that change? I know you already had a career when you were doing this, but how does it affect your life? Because look, some of us will never know what that's like, Rhys. We just won't. And that's why we ask these inane, dumb questions. We'll never know what it's like.
Yeah, it's really interesting trying to balance school and acting at the same time. It's really a thing where I kind of there's times where I won't finish homework on time because it's like I either do my homework or I work on lines, and it's a bit of a toss up. And so it'll be I end up just trying to, like, the moment I leave school, do my best to just stop doing school and either take a break or start doing acting, because it's really hard to kind of mesh those two into one thing. But sometimes I'll have to work on lines at school during lunch or do homework on set, that kind of thing, because I'm overdue on whatever I have to be doing. But it's easier than it seems at the beginning, but it's not easy. It's just not super hard necessarily.
That's cool. That's good to know. I might have a follow-up a little bit later. Michael, go ahead, please.
Here's a hard one for you.
Oh, we already asked the avocado question.
I know this is worse.
Ooh.
In all the shows that you've been in, and you played certain characters, were there other characters in that film that you wish that you had played,
Oh wow.
just because you like them or challenge or yeah.
Yes, and that is probably the only show I've ever thought about that on is DC's Legends of Tomorrow, because I am a very big superhero kid, and I mean I got to be on set with like a bunch of different superheroes, and there was a lot of like I wish I could be playing this character even though I'm like a decade too young, but it was still, there were some times where I'm like I wish I could be you so much.
Yeah,
That is-
I can understand that.
Oh heck yeah. I'm gonna interrupt just because Ross has to know. This is another one of those questions. It's a West Coast thing, especially here in Southern California. Pineapple on pizza? Seriously, are you good with that or no? Disgusting.
Pineapple on pizza is good, and the thing with any question about what belongs on pizza, everything belongs on pizza. Whether you like it or not doesn't matter. Anything can go on pizza, except for maple syrup. That is a desecration of maple syrup. Other than that, anything belongs there.
Not the desecration of the pizza, but to the
No,
maple
maple
syrup.
syrup.
That's good. Michael, please. That's good. I like
That got me.
that. Yeah.
Is acting the only career that you are considering, or is this just something that you're doing right now and because you're enjoying it, or who knows?
I think I'm planning. I'm hoping to do acting for the future, but I've been looking into biochemistry because cancer research
Ooh.
is something that's very cool to me, or really important, I suppose. So I've been looking into that, but I'm more focused on acting than I am that. I'm very much enjoying my current career, so I'm not looking to leave it.
Yeah, well, that's
Wow.
a good. Want to ask
Yeah.
your follow-up question, Roger?
I'm amazed by that. I really am. Are you looking at maybe, if we can go down that tangent, maybe a biomolecular engineer or something like that, or no? Just a.
I'm more looking towards biochemistry because
Oh.
it's specifically cancer research because too many people die of cancer that don't deserve to, so it feels like something that's important to look into.
Yeah, you caught me on that one, Rhys. Thank you. That's.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Yeah, that's you're mature beyond your years when it comes to that. Most kids and even adults. And Rhys, I owe you an apology. You're a young man. I don't wish to treat you as someone who is not. And I didn't mean to say what I was about to say, but along those lines, I don't expect to hear that from someone from such as yourself. Wow. That is
I'll
really
be
cool.
honest, it's not the first time I've been told I'm wise beyond my year. I mean, or like act older than I am. I've been pretty much raised around adults my whole life, so it's.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry for myself too.
Oh, sorry, Mom. I didn't mean that. And she was so kind to share the episode, and she might delete the link right there. So if your mom is watching or is in the chat room, Mom, please leave a comment. And it's good. Is it Jenny, or am I miss? Is it Jenny for your mom?
It is Jenny, yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad I got that one right. Melia, I think she forgave me on the bastardization of her last name. Do you have any very good and talented and funny and smart friends from theater and D&D? Oh,
okay.
we didn't
So
know about the D&D. That's our
I
fault.
I do very much enjoy playing Dungeons and Dragons.
That was my
However,
next question.
This is a loaded question that
Oh, yeah.
won't. That's a loaded question that I will answer, and the answer is no. So I don't have any funny friends at all. None of them are funny. Oh, none of them. Not one.
Good. I like that. And Michael, the D&D question?
Well, it relates to that. I was going to say, when you're not acting, do you have things you like to do, hobbies?
Yes.
And I guess D&D is one of them.
D&D is one of them. So
Okay.
other than acting, I am very much a geek. Wow. Shocker.
Oh,
I
fit
play
right
I
in
play
with us then.
I play video games, I play D&D, and I read all the time. So it's, I mean, I'm basically the other side of the coin. Like, you either got the super sporty young male or the super geek, and it's like I'm the super geek. I'm that side.
So you were
Very much a
genuinely
stereotype.
Oh, okay. I was going to say you were genuinely acting when you were playing Dylan then. Ross says, It's a field that takes up, and this is when you were talking about the biochemistry, I believe. The daughter is also studying equine genetics, and I didn't even know there was equine genetics, but I guess that's related to horses.
I don't know what equine means, so
yeah, wow.
Yeah,
And then this had to have been the D&D comment, Gloomstalker for the win, which is really
yes.
good.
Yes.
Getting to know you a little bit. I know I set you up for this one, and I'm now getting to it. You have a phone, of course you do. iPhone or Android?
I have an iPhone.
Ooh, so tell us your music. What do you have? What do you listen to?
Okay, so the most recent songs on my phone are exclusively Imagine Dragons and Hamilton songs. I'm not even kidding. The last 10 songs on my phone are all Imagine Dragons and or Hamilton. So
That's cool.
I think that says something about my character.
Yes, it does. That is cool. I appreciate that. Babsy, I think I may have lost the conversation, but how big? I don't know what that was related to.
That's really out of context.
Definitely.
I have no idea.
And it was related to something that we're talking about just a moment ago, and I apologize, Babs. You're going to have to explain it to us, Babsy, please. And then there's a follow-up. What kind of people do you think
Oh, like in the
are in your
people, okay,
fandom?
yeah. It's in the people who I mean, I don't think I have one yet. I feel like I'm not like a big enough. I feel like celebrity's the wrong word because I'm not one. But like to have a fandom, I think is the. I mean, the people who enjoy. I've seen content with people enjoying Upload, which I mean, like that sort of counts. And those people, like, they seem really cool and really fun. So, but I don't think I have a fandom necessarily.
And that's fair. And I do want to thank Michael on air because I've known Michael for some years, and he had already seen Upload, and I just didn't have a chance. And he said, "Roger, check out Upload. You'll know after the first episode." And he was wrong. It was after the second episode when Dylan was in the episode, which I said, "I'm in." But all kidding aside, I did appreciate the concept of it. And then when you showed up in the second episode and then following episodes, look, my daughters are significantly older. They're 25 and 28. And I was imagining them I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to handle that, man. How was your mom? I guess this is a multi-part. I'm butchering the question. But how was your mom?
How did my mom react to it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think from what I understand, she found it funny. I swore like a sailor in that show.
Yeah.
It was like every other sentence, but she found it funny from what I understand. I hope. But I think she enjoyed it. I hope she enjoyed it. I'm gonna make sure she. Okay, we're fine.
That's good. No, that's all good. Ross says, now the question, avocados or pizza? I'm like, all right, we're going to be stuck on that one for a while.
Okay, so avocados or pizza? Well, I feel like pizza covers like way broader a category. Like I can say I like pizza, and it means like I like 7 different meals.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to say pizza over avocados.
Okay. Just to belabor this, deep dish or the thin crust? I guess.
Thin crust.
All right.
No. I mean, I prefer thin crust pizza. I also haven't ever had deep dish pizza, so I feel like that also sways my opinion a little bit. But
out here on the West Coast, we have both, but I think I'm stuck on the thin crust myself, which is here in the United States is a New York, East Coast sort of thing. And I suppose not necessarily middle America, but around Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago's deep dish, New York's thin crust. And both sides swear for their own. Daphne says Hamilton is amazing. Yes.
Agreed.
No doubt about it. Ross says keep it up. We'll be seeing you at Comic-Cons all over the country. Oh, great question. Not yet then, right?
No. I have not.
Okay. Wow. We have a tiny, tiny connection here. And if you're interested, we will. We don't have him on all the time, but he's an old Comic-Con master of ceremonies. So who knows? We might see if he can invite you to one of those. That would be cool. That's how big was the typo? Oh, terribly sorry. Okay, that was maybe it was a Freudian slip. Sorry.
You're forgiven.
Yeah, I must have been on something else. So, yes. How many dice?
So most of my dice aren't actually in my room right now, but a lot. Probably too many. I feel like it like certain like whenever it's considered unhealthy, it's like a shred before that. I think. I own a lot of dice.
That's cool. That's good. We'll get into D&D in a little bit. Michael, you want to go ahead while I flash poor
Oh, you
Rhys with
flashed-
another
while you
question?
flashed that?
I know I did. I'm so sorry. I just flashed you, Rhys.
Yeah, it was just like I was going, well, I was
Oh,
thinking of
Ross,
that.
I'm going to skip ahead. Says no such thing as too many for the dice.
Yeah, well,
And
that is
Melina
true.
says, do you know anyone who has played
Oh,
Catherine in Henry V?
Okay, this is
Are these
another
loaded
this is-
questions?
These are
They
all
know.
loaded. These are all loaded questions.
Yeah, they know.
I do know somebody who has at one point played Catherine in Henry V. I'm not at the liberty to disclose the name. However,
Oh.
I do know that there is a person. Yep.
Probably several.
Well, I only know one. But
Oh, okay.
But at not liberty at the they know, and we
they know.
appreciate
No, they're
it.
fully aware. They know.
Yeah, that is cool. Folks, once again, let us know who you are and where you hail from. We do appreciate the questions and comments. It means a great deal to us, and it definitely helps us out because obviously the audience knows quite a bit more than we do. Michael, why don't you go ahead, please?
Yeah. If you could meet any actor that you have not worked with, who would you like to meet?
And if there's several on that list,
And if there's
by
several
all
on
means,
that is perfectly fine.
That's such a hard question because
It
there's so
might be
many
a little
amazing
unfair.
actors.
It might be
Yeah.
unfair. Yeah,
I
it might
think-
be unfair.
I'd probably have to go with Ryan Reynolds. I think. I mean, it's a good across the board. You can just kind of. It won't offend anybody if I say that the person I want to see the most is Ryan Reynolds because he's a Canadian actor as well.
Yes. Did you see Blue Shirt Guy?
I did.
Did you enjoy the movie? I did terribly, man. I took quite a few people to see that movie. That one was fun, man. I really did enjoy that one.
Yeah, I probably should have asked you instead. What superhero would you rather play?
Oh, that's right. You did.
I probably should have asked that.
Now, the Marvel universe is still going on. DC is in the works. No shot against DC. I know they're working, but the reality is what the reality is. If you have a chance to play anyone, seriously, that's a good question.
That's another hard question. I mean,
but we're sticking with that one, Rhys.
I think there's probably three. I think maybe four, because I can't. I'm also really bad with making decisions. So, I'd say first probably the Flash because speed is kind of cool. Second, Iron Man. Because Iron Man, do I really have to elaborate? No, okay.
The suit.
Yeah, the suit. I mean, yeah. Then Spider-Man because he's well, look, it's another teenager like me. Wow. And then probably Doctor Strange because magicians are very cool.
I think if you ask the older generation, us, we'd probably go with either Batman or Superman just for some reason.
I guess Superman is kind of just you can't beat him. So
yeah, and then Superman or Batman is one of the only ones that actually doesn't have any superpowers. So it's kind of neat. Babsy asks, actually from Mr. Slack's hometown, North Vancouver, I'd like him to know what kind of role he'd be interested in playing if given the chance, and what kind of film.
Huh.
There you go. Yeah, there's a wish list, which is again probably another unfair question.
I mean, character I'd like to play would be probably a version of the Flash, probably Kid Flash, Wally West. Or there's it would be Kid Flash probably, and I wouldn't mind being in like an action film because I've never actually been in an action film, which is slightly sad. But I mean, obviously it'll happen eventually. But I would enjoy being in probably an action film.
Wow, that is cool. Michael?
Yeah, I thought that was bad enough. Because you really
Oh,
want me to
haha.
torture him more, but
Well, I mean, if
I'll
not,
try not to torture him.
uh,
But it's like, oh, it's easy to torture him, but I guess. But okay, Roger, I'll do to you. I can't
fair
think of
enough.
one that is not too complicated.
It's all good. We'll get to it right now. I'm gonna get to Daphne real quick. And what
Okay.
was your favorite scene to film in Scaredy Cats?
This favorite scene in Scaredy Cats. Huh. It's a good question. I think probably. I mean, I did actually really enjoy the. I mean, I guess it was multiple scenes, sort of the park, where Wyatt is still unknown, and is trying to get the amulet from the cat. That was I very much actually enjoyed filming that, because that, or any of the flying scenes, because that room was so much fun.
Yeah, when you were in the mask and they didn't know who you were, is that what you seen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a good one.
That makes sense.
Along those lines, you've been acting for a little while now, and you've given us some answers about it now. But when you are actually, and Michael may have asked a variation of this, and I apologize, but acting, what does it mean to you? Are you trying to maybe emulate anyone? Are you trying to? Obviously, you're doing your own thing, but
Yeah.
is there anything that? Yeah, go ahead.
For most
What does acting mean to you?
to acting is like, it's a lot of fun to be able to be something I'm not, in that sense, where it's like I can kind of look at a character who existed, who's been written, who's been imagined, and do my best to bring that character to life. And it's a lot of fun to play around with how I think he would act, or how they would interact with things. And that's probably what it's really nice to watch, like, what writers, and artists create come to life through acting and its representation into film.
Since you're in the business, is the magic gone when you watch something else because you know how it's done?
At the very beginning, after I started going on the set, it was a little bit, because I'm like, oh wait, that's how they did that and that and that. And then I was on The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is a horror movie, or a horror TV show, and I was there for some of those horror jump scares, and it still scared me. Like, I knew it was coming, I knew where it was, and it still scared me completely. And then that was the point where I realized that, like, you can still enjoy watching something if you just kind of dissociate it from being there. Like, I mean, especially for things I haven't seen, it's like a lot easier for me to just watch the movie. And then for things that I've been in, it's like I can happily recognize, oh wait, I remember when we filmed that, but I can still be there for the story, if that makes sense.
You were a lot younger. You were a lot younger when in Bly Manor, weren't you?
Yeah, I think
like,
I was
about 2 years younger.
I think that was 2 years ago. I think. Yeah, because it was before
it
COVID.
was it after upload or was it before?
It was after upload, but it was before COVID, from what I understand. I think it was like September of 2020.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, the reason why I asked that is because my father, before he left this world, worked kind of in the background of the studios, and he didn't go to see very many movies because he knew the tricks. He knew everything. So it didn't do anything for him. And myself, I was fortunate. I had a tour of a very old series. You may not know what it is, but it was Star Trek Voyager, and I was on set. And for every Star Trek fan, it's their dream to visit. And I've always told everyone, look, don't go. It's because once you're there, it kind of takes away from it. And I did go away from it, but I was able to recover it. I love movie. I love television, and Upload was absolutely awesome. And I was able to suspend. It's not that difficult. A good story.
Yeah.
The thespians, when they give it their all, it's fun watching it. And Upload was fun, and some of the other items that you did as well. Malia comes back with another question. Did you like the dance scene in Scaredy Cats? Yeah, there you go.
It was a thing.
Oh.
It was. I mean, it was fun in the sense that it was funny to do, but I couldn't help but cringe looking back on it. I'll be honest. It was very hard to watch myself do that.
So you are a big critic then of what you do. Are you able to watch what you've done?
Um, for the most part, a lot of the time it's when the character I'm playing does something embarrassing, I can't not see myself doing that thing, and it does make me a little bit self-conscious, but for the most part, I think I'm fine watching myself.
Do you cringe? Are there
all,
some
all the
moments?
time.
Oh,
I'll see
really?
myself and I'll be like, it wasn't actually that bad, but I can only see the negatives in my performance. So,
Oh, yes. Okay. Let me ask you a technical question. For upload, I'm not going to ask you for any, but are there any moments where you see upload again and you're like, oh, yeah, you do cringe?
honestly, for upload, not really, because
Okay, that's good to know.
because he wasn't. There was no point where Dylan was cringy. He was just a bad person. So like, and then he grows out of that like pretty quickly afterwards. So I can totally watch upload it, and I find a lot of the scenes I'm in funny. But for the most part, no, I didn't really cringe at upload.
That's cool. That's good to know. And I appreciate that because I haven't seen it in a bit and I'm looking forward to watching it again. And do you have any news that hasn't been stated about upload yet? Do you know if there's going to be a third, fourth, fifth, or sixth season yet?
I know that there's going to be a third season, but I'm not going to be. I'm not actually the one who's revealing that. It's been posted on other accounts as well. But there's the third season. I am in the third season. I am only in there tentatively for an episode, but we'll see if that grows into more or not.
Excellent. That's good to know. I'm glad. Michael and I were disappointed that, and we did talk about this before we went live,
Yeah.
and we did share our disappointment that we were hoping that you were in it more. But yes, why don't you explain? I think the audience might deserve that part of the conversation that we had.
Oh, I was only in one episode for season 2. Yeah, I think. I mean, it totally made sense to me why I wasn't in that much of it, because the story that they'd written had kind of moved away from Lakeview for a bit. It was more focused on the real world, which ended up meaning that Dylan, while getting a cameo, didn't get as much screen time because it didn't make sense. Which is totally fair. I agreed with their decision. I mean, it was a little bit sad because I would have loved to have been in the show more, but I totally understood it.
Michael and I thought about that long before we ever thought we'd be able to have a conversation with you. We really thought it was COVID related.
I happened I was scheduled for another scene in season 2, but I was like not with COVID, but I was super sick for like a full week. I was gone. It was really like I was really unfortunate. I really wanted to film, but it was the type of sick that you can't fake that you're not.
Yep.
And it was really it wasn't like a head cold. It was it was unfortunate.
I really am sorry in many ways because we would have loved to have seen it because we are fans. And obviously we do have quite a few fans here as well. What was the most interesting part of the upload set? We may have tangentially covered that, but
I mean, I don't think that. I mean, the studios were cool, but that probably wasn't my favorite part.
Oh, cool.
Because there was for the Gray Market, there was the huge amphitheater. Not amphitheater. That's not the right word. The huge kind of dome that the Gray Market was in.
Yeah.
That and basically there was that was a real place. Obviously, like it was an actual building that we were in. That place was really cool. Like there were so many interesting set pieces that were only used for the background, but they were like really intricate and involved. And then also there was for the scene where we're walking towards it, there was just a long green screen corridor that not corridor, like a wall of green screen that we were walking through, which was a lot of fun. Like it was cool because it was the first time I was ever on with a green screen. So it was pretty cool seeing how that kind of worked with the marks and whatnot.
Well, we don't know the answer to that question unless Rhys does. Do you have any friends watching? You may, if they do.
I mean, I do now that they might not be friends at the end of it, but I am kidding. I am kidding. However, yes, I do have friends watching this, and they're pestering me with questions. I don't mind. It is actually I enjoy it. Fun.
I'm glad they are here. It means a great deal because we kind of figured Some of those questions were loaded. They knew much more than we did,
Mhm.
which is really, really cool. I got to tell you, Michael did quite a bit of background when we found out that there was a chance to have you on. He had already seen one of the other programs. That was, oh my goodness, that was the Scaredy Cats, right?
Mhm.
And then you went on and caught all the others, and I hadn't had a chance to see them yet. But I was like, you know what? Upload was awesome. I'm gonna fly with that one for right now. But I do appreciate all the other questions, folks. If you have any questions, um, Rhys, when we used to do digital radio, we were able to take calls where people would call in. Would you be willing to maybe risk putting a call up where I would show a link in the chat room and people could actually try to come in and maybe do a video? You want to
Sure,
risk that?
that could be fun. Why not?
Oh, wow. Okay. So, folks, yeah, Michael's like, dude, what are you doing? The agent is never going to forgive us now.
Yeah,
They're already mad at me already, you know. So,
Folks, what we're going to do is we're going to place a link in the chat room. And if you want to join, you're going to need either a phone or a computer that has a monitor. And when you log in, clicking on this link through the chat room, you can copy and paste it. If you do not show your face, we will not bring you on. So it's only fair because this is not a fair ambush to Rhys. He's being a team player. We did not tell him we were going to. But the reason why I'm doing this, Rhys, is because it looks like you may know some of these people. So I was kind of doing it that way.
I do know some of them.
Yeah, and if they want to join you right now, I think it might be kind of cool. If they want to. So you have the next 2 or 3 minutes if you'd like to do so. Or 3-4 minutes, however. But that is the link, and we do invite you. We don't have the technical setup. I mean, look, I'm in a garage, buddy. I don't have the technical setup to take calls. Michael, at least, is in a study. But I do want to embarrass you. What is on your wall behind you, Rhys?
Wait, what specifically are we talking about?
Yeah, what's on your wall behind you? Yeah, what's there?
That is, I think, that is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Welsh, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I can't actually remember, and I'm plugged in. I don't really want to get up. But I am reasonably certain that is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Welsh.
I'm amazed at how Spartan your wall is. So that's kind of cool, but we'll leave it at that. Folks, we have our first guest joining us right now. So do you know this guest, Rhys?
Oh, no.
We shall see.
Let's see. Do I?
Hello, Brooke. Thank you
Hi.
for joining us.
Hello.
Thank you.
I do know this person. This is
Okay, fair enough. Brooke, you're on. Any questions? Any stories to tell?
Oh,
ooh,
stories. I'm not going to embarrass you. This is your moment. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Don't,
Yeah.
please don't. No stories. Thank you.
No stories, no stories. Gosh. Questions, though. I've got so many. Jeez. Here, give me a second. I haven't prepared myself properly.
Got it, Brooke. I thank you for even joining us. It's brave. A lot of
it's
people will
very
not do this.
brave.
Let me tell you, we've done this where we did warn the guests, or not warn the guests, but we asked them. And Rhys, I do apologize. It just hit me to do this, but since you did know a few people, I want to take that shot. But it's all good. Brooke, in that little soliloquy of mine, did you have a question or two now?
Oh.
Well, let me ask you, Brooke, where in the world are you right now?
I'm in my bedroom in North Vancouver.
North Vancouver. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're near Rhys. Okay, so
I'm local.
And you have dogs?
I do have a dog.
She's barked at her.
all right. Now we may be hearing ourselves on your computer, Brooke. So you may need to kill either YouTube or Facebook, whatever you're watching us on, just for the time being.
Yep.
There you
My
go.
voice is annoying. I don't need to hear it in stereo. So it's all good. Brooke, go ahead. You have any questions?
Okay, I'm trying to narrow it down to one. Okay. You had some pretty mature lines in Upload.
Yes.
Which, if you had to narrow it down, which do you think would be your least favorite?
Least favorite? I don't really have a least favorite. I liked all of them. They were all fun to say. I was allowed to swear at like 12.
I
It was-
apologize, Reese. Give me a quick moment. Brooke, we're still getting feedback.
Oh.
I need you to close or just lower the volume on.
Yep.
Okay, hopefully that'll work. Yes. Sorry about that, Reese. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it was my favorite part, or least favorite line, sorry.
You did tell us a moment ago that you were able to swear like a sailor and get away with it.
Yeah, that was, I mean, there were, okay, I remember what it was. I think it was, it was the scene where I was originally talking to the woman coming in from the beach. And it was pretty much that entire scene I was really uncomfortable about because my mom was there and I'm like objectifying a woman completely and it was really uncomfortable. So I basically had my mom like completely turn away and plug her ears because I was really uncomfortable about it because little old me was not having it. So that was probably my least favorite lines. It was that scene.
Thank you
cool.
for your honesty. That being said, I'm gonna leave you with this. Thank you for having me on, by the way.
No, thank you, Brooke.
All right. Thank you for answering my question, by the way, Rhys.
Goodbye.
All right, I appreciate that. That was really cool. Well, we have another brave soul that's joining us, and I know the individual will reprimand me on the pronunciation of the last name. So I may have butchered the first name too. Melia, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Rhys.
Hello.
Melia, how do I pronounce your last name? And do you have any questions right now?
My last name is pronounced Hoagie. It's pretty weird one.
Wasn't even close.
I think there
I'm
should
so
be an
sorry.
I there somewhere.
Should there?
Well, like,
Oh,
never
no.
mind. It doesn't matter. So do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, Melia, thank you for being a team player and joining us.
Wait 1 second.
Oh, no.
Gotta
One.
He's
see
got a
if I have-
list. He's gonna have a
Any-
list.
I should
Three,
have a list. That's a smart
4,
idea.
No.
I'll save that for next time.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What's
You
your
asked us
favorite
for one
color?
for- Oh,
What's that?
What's your favorite color?
My
We'll do
favorite
that one.
color. It's definitely
A
purple.
lot of pressure here.
Purple.
Purple?
Yeah.
Okay.
that-
Whatever you want.
What's your
It's
second
not a
favorite
color,
color?
but
Ow.
I'll let you
Okay,
have
hang
that
on.
color.
Is that all you want? Did you just come on to ask me my favorite color, Melia?
yeah.
Something that you should already know at this point?
You've never told me your favorite color.
I have totally told you my favorite color.
No, you haven't.
Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter.
That's a lie.
Rhys, I am so sorry. I didn't mean for it to be confrontational. It's purple. We're good. Melia, do you have another question?
Don't worry. This is how we are all the time. It's not confrontational. Well, I mean, it is confrontational, but it's
It is very confrontational.
friendly, mostly. Did you have another question for me?
Please.
No.
All right.
Oh,
No.
okay, Melia. Where are you in the world, Melia, if I may ask?
I'm in North Vancouver. Close
Oh, okay,
by to
so-
Rhys, kind of.
So how do you know Rhys?
How do I know Rhys? That's a good question. Rhys, how do I know you?
It's school.
School?
It's,
Is it school?
I mean, yeah,
we went to the same elementary school.
we did go to the same elementary school.
Yeah. Always
Yeah.
a cool thing.
That's how we know each other, pretty much.
Yeah.
Still can't believe you came on to ask me my favorite color.
Hey, it's a question that we didn't
Hey,
ask.
that's a good point. You guys didn't ask
Yeah.
it. Somebody
Same
had
as
to do
the
it.
avocado questions, you know?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
asking things that need to be said, you know?
Yeah, controversial questions at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the way it goes.
Yes, definitely. Melia, we want to thank you. Thank you for having the nerve to join us on here. Have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Seriously, thanks for joining us. And if you have another question a little bit later on, just pop back on. Same
That's
code.
great. I will.
All right. Thanks, Melia.
Bye.
All right. Rhys, I know. I'm sorry.
Hi.
That was messed up, buddy.
It's
I'm
okay,
so
it
sorry.
happens. I'm used to my friends doing this kind of thing, so it's fine.
You know, I'm glad you're being a sport about it because sometimes when it just happens, the conversation's just flowing. It's all good. But look, Rhys, we've been on for a while. I don't know. We really did mess up, buddy. We didn't ask you how long you were going to be on with us, and we don't want to force you anymore than a force. Oh, I didn't mean to say that, but some people are just so polite. They're like, "Yeah, dude, we've already been here 4 hours. I wanted to leave at the 15-minute mark." Something like that.
I am happy to keep going if you guys want to. I don't really have a strict time limit.
Definitely. We do want to ask you some questions about the craft and everything that you're doing. I already hit you up on the whole idea about whether the magic is gone. Now, and thank you for the insight on that because I was able to get it back myself, and I was never really involved in the industry. When it comes to some other stuff that you watch, do you get a lot of? That was dumb. Do you have an opportunity to watch the boob tube television? Do you have time to watch other television programs?
Yeah, So my dad actually, he never thought he'd have to say this to his son, but he has told me before to watch more television because I don't watch enough. I spend my free time on watching usually streamed services like streaming services like Twitch or YouTube or whatever instead of actual film, which I mean considering it's my job I should probably do more. But yes, I do have time to watch other film content.
What are some of the programs that have been something that stay with you, something that you've enjoyed and maybe would watch again?
That's a good question. Probably The Mandalorian. I really enjoyed. That was a really good TV show. I think Mandalorian. I like Moon Knight as well. Marvel. I mean, most of the Marvel movies are really good and something that that stick in my mind. But yeah, I really enjoy most Star Wars content and most Marvel content as well, and they often they stick around in here.
What's your favorite Marvel movie, or is that too hard of a question?
No, it's fair because we're going to hit them on the Marvel content in a moment. That's a good question. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Favorite Marvel movie?
Or let's back up a moment. Put that one in a pocket for a moment. Before the Marvel movies, did you read comic books? Did you watch any of the series prior to this entire MCU going on right now?
Well, I mean, I've been kind of alive for most of my lifespan has been most of the MCU.
Yes.
I have started. I keep starting to get into comics, and then I start doing something else because I can't focus on one thing for very long. So I'll start doing the comics, and then I'll stop for a bit and start doing something else. And I keep meaning to get into them. And I keep from what I've seen a bunch of comic content, and it looks really cool. But I can never fully get into the swing of things.
Okay, so you discovered the Marvel universe through the movies and the TV shows. Okay, I believe it was the end of Phase 3 right now, which was Endgame.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
Were you blown away? I mean,
yes, I very much the Infinity Saga was very good. I very much enjoyed pretty much every single movie that they released up until that point.
Any major jaw-dropping moments as you were watching this series?
I mean, in Infinity War when Thanos won, that wasn't really something that I was expecting. Having the bad guy winning a movie isn't something that happens very often.
Right.
That's you think that, and you think Empire Strikes Back, and that's the only two things I can think of.
Wow.
Where the bad guy actually wins.
Yeah. I'm impressed that you know that The Empire Strikes Back is one of, especially in the Star Wars universe.
Star Wars is incredible. Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies.
And I'm sorry I cut you off on that one, Rhys, but you were saying yes, where the evil one wins. Yeah. It is so rare.
It isn't, and it's a really cool. I really enjoy having when the villain wins the movie, and it's really a way to set up and make people want to watch the next one.
Yes.
Would you look at that? The bad guy won. Well, what's gonna happen now?
I have to say that in Endgame myself, I'm a casual Marvel fan. I've seen most of the movies, but I have to tell you, and folks, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry. It's your fault. But when he finally says, "Avengers Assemble," wow! I mean that's a big deal in the comic books and the storyline. And when that happened, and seeing everyone show up at the very end, that was a big deal. I did enjoy that part of the movie, and I guess you did as well. So, up until that point, you know that arc or that phase ended, and then we got some of the other movies. Have you seen the Spider-Man movies?
I have.
Most recent one?
Yes, I've seen No Way Home.
All right. Your comments on that one?
They're so good. I mean, all
That's
three.
the problem,
I've seen the Amazing Spider-Man. I've seen the original Spider-Man movies. I've seen Tom Holland's trilogy. They're all like so good, and seeing them all together in one movie was really awesome.
Yeah, that was an awesome touch. I'm going to go back to some of the questions right now, and if Michael's ready, he'll let me know if he has any others. But do you like One Direction? That's good from Malia.
I haven't actually seen much of I guess listened to much of their songs, to be honest, so I can't answer that question well.
All right. Daphne asks, lizards or penguins?
Penguins. No question. Penguins.
Oh, no question.
Nope.
I have a question. Why?
Because they waddle. They little waddle on their 2 feet. They do the penguin waddle.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So,
but lizards are almost dinosaurs, so that
but so are chickens. That doesn't really I mean, lizards are less dinosaurs than chickens are. So. But I mean, lizards are don't get me wrong. Lizards are cool, but penguins are cooler. Pun intended, 100%.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Now, without being too nosy, Rhys, are you in the city or are you out in the rural area of Vancouver?
I am in the city. Well, sort of. I'm in North Van, so it's a lot more. It's less. I mean, it's still the city, but it's less compact city. It's not like a downtown center or anything. But yes. I am in the city.
Asking about your movie career and your career. Have you been in Vancouver for your entire professional career, or have you gone somewhere else to film?
I have. Well, I mean, I've always lived in Vancouver or in the close area, but I did for The Wolf and the Lion. I went out to Quebec for, I think it was roughly 2 months. Or maybe a month. I was out in Quebec, and we were in rural Quebec. We were filming, and it was a lot of fun. There are a lot of mosquitoes in rural Quebec.
And speaking of mosquitoes, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Favorite dinosaur? Probably the Triceratops, because he's got 3 horns. He's cool.
3 horns and its tail.
Yeah, the Triceratops is very cool.
Yeah, a lot of us did like that one growing up ourselves. I don't know, Michael, do you have a favorite dinosaur?
I was going to say Dino, but
I don't know.
That dates me. I don't think you know who that is.
Do you even know the Flintstones, Rhys?
I have seen some of it. I've definitely heard of it, and I've seen some of it, but I haven't actually watched it.
Yeah. I'm dating myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely did, but that's cool.
The Flintstones aren't that old.
If you only knew.
You're being so polite, Rhys.
He is.
I thank you for that. Going back to The Mandalorian, seasons 1 and 2. Are you looking forward to season 3, which I believe is? Oh,
it's soon, isn't it?
Well, Andor.
Oh, Andor as well. I'm looking forward to that.
On September 21. I'm not sure how it is for you north of the border from us, but over on Disney Plus, they're going to debut the first 3 episodes that night. It's a 12-episode run. Okay, cool. Andor, you saw Rogue One. What do you think of Rogue One?
I liked Rogue One.
Oh.
It was very good.
It's a personal favorite for us. Oh, no doubt over here. So, you looking forward to Andor? I've read some reviews right now that there's already some people are saying, you know what, it might be overkill. There's a phrase that we Star Trek fans know. It's called franchise fatigue, where the people
Yeah.
involved. Okay, so you may be familiar with that. Are you worried about that, or you really don't care? You're happy.
Well, to an extent, I feel like everybody over criticizes films and movies more recently. Like, I mean, She-Hulk was like, it's good, and people are review bombing it because they don't like it, or review bombing it for reasons that aren't deserving of a 1 star, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So I feel like I take what people say when they see it early with a grain of salt.
Reese, thank you for saying that. I don't understand that. I don't understand why. Look, a teaser or a preview, it's just supposed to give you a taste of what it's going to be. I have a 25-year-old daughter, and it irritates me to no end where she sees this teaser. It's like, oh, yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm not going to watch it. Oh, my, I don't understand.
Like, unless the teaser is absolutely horrible, then there's no reason to not watch it from the teaser.
I love watching teasers because it's just that. Now, granted, there are teasers that have either blown the movie, which I don't get that, where they give it all away. One of the worst teasers or previews of all time was Terminator Salvation. They gave away everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's the point? But it's good to know, Reese, and I appreciate knowing that. Look, the teasers for Andor, I think they look good. I'm interested. I'm going to reserve judgment. And I'm not going to waste 5 minutes. I'm going to waste more than that. Are you one of those? After 5 minutes, you know whether you like a program or not?
Not usually. I mean, a lot of the time it's like you'll see, oh, hey, that doesn't seem like it makes any sense. And it's like, watch the rest of the show. It might explain itself to you.
Well, you know that. The first 5 to 10 minutes in the movie are important.
Yeah.
Because it's going to lead to something else. And it's really a shame that the movie audience or the audience itself is just not interested beyond 5 minutes. How do you answer that crowd? What do you tell them? Okay, look, you meet someone. You say, oh, you were in Upload. I haven't seen it. Or I saw the first few minutes and I'm out. How do you answer that, Reese?
Well, I mean, I feel like if you do that to every show, it's like a missed opportunity because there's so many, even like shows where it only gets good after like 3 or 4 episodes. Like even then, it's like you find like a gem in the rough kind of thing. Where it's if you give it a chance and watching, like, I mean, obviously if it's a show that you know you aren't going to enjoy after like 1 or 2 episodes, then yeah, don't continue watching. But like, I never see the point in not just watching the first episode because it gives you a reasonable synopsis of how each episode is going to look like. Because it looks pretty similar, and I feel like at least watch the first episode, and if you do that, you can kind of gauge how much you're gonna like it.
Okay, well, sticking with Upload, you're not in the first episode, so
I am not.
how do you?
That's
tell
why
the
Roger
fans?
didn't like it yet.
No, stop it! I actually
Well-
did. I was in, and then when your character showed up, I just thought it was real. Actually, there's quite a few characters that are introduced in the second episode.
And yeah, I think that I mean, episode 1 of Upload 1 is the pilot, so it's obviously a little bit less because it's still looking to be greenlit.
Yes.
But it still gives a good idea of the humor and the type of show it's going to be, which I feel like is really important for the first episode to show like how what you think the show's going to look like, and then you can gauge it off there.
I like that. I appreciate that, Reese. Yeah, you have a good idea about this business. Because we ourselves as fans, we try to bring people to watch what you're doing, what others are doing. And it's just it's bad, right? Michael's like pulling teeth. It's like, will you just sit down and give it a shot? And I just don't understand. But with Upload, we actually do have quite a few fans that are watching this. And I'm looking forward to it's going to be a shame. We're probably going to get more questions after. So we may have to contact you through your agent. And I don't know if your agent's going to do us a solid, knowing that we kind of didn't do what was asked.
Deviated from what they asked.
Deviated. But there'll probably be some follow-up questions that we'll have. And, who knows? Maybe you could just write back and we'll be able to do another episode and we could at least say, well, Rhys/Dylan gave us this answer, but I'm sure they're going to be asking about your career as well. Now, Daphne said, or has another question. In Scaredy Cats, favorite character other than Wyatt?
Other than Wyatt. I feel like favorite character other than Wyatt. Probably Willa. I think I really enjoyed her character arc, and I mean, as there can be in a kids show, but it was very like I enjoyed her character a bunch. The amulet was very cool. It was very cool to see and like have her use it the whole time. But I think other than Wyatt, I mean Wyatt's obviously the best character in the show.
Obviously.
But
Yes.
But I think Willow would be a close second.
That's cool. That's good to know. Going back to The Mandalorian, 2 seasons in, you did tell us you enjoyed it. What is it that did it for you? Because there was a growth of that character all the way through what we've seen.
Well, I've always liked Mandalorians, like the kind of history and backstory and their culture is really cool. And I think the the evolution of Mando throughout the show was also one of the really cool parts about it, where it
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Geeks.
No,
See?
don't
Yeah.
don't apologize. I don't blame you.
It's my daughter's, even though everyone thinks it's mine. I didn't mean to run off. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, I don't blame you. That I would do the same thing.
Yeah. This is, I gotta admit, this is really cool. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like I just really enjoy Mandalorians as kind of a race. They're really interesting and really cool in the way they operate and function. And it was really cool to actually see a show focused on one of them instead of just having them as a side character.
Yeah, it was something that I enjoyed. Michael did as well. Grogu, it was fun. It was really neat how a lot of people were talking about that. And the character didn't have a name. We still don't know what they are. Today's fan has to have an answer for everything.
Yeah.
Being an artist and
That
being
was-
yes.
That was my problem with the Kenobi. Like people watching Kenobi, it's like
dude,
just
tell.
let the well, I mean, like I was watching it and it's like people are like, oh well, this thing can't work because it breaks the canon. And it's like, I guarantee you they're gonna like, and at the end of it, every single plotline that people were upset about was resolved and made total sense. And it's like if you just let the show happen, it might actually tell you.
They don't have patience.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. They don't have patience, and they can't wait till the end of the show, series, movie to see how things resolve. Because if it's a good writer, they craft it so
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. But some people just can't wait.
I don't
And it's a
understand.
shame. It's a
Yeah.
shame.
I don't understand all the hatred and vitriol directed to that stuff. It's either you're going to like it or not. And it's just a shame that people are slamming it before it's even, before it even airs and even before it's finished. That's really a disappointment.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that in Upload, it does appeal to some of the older folk because, as fewer days ahead than there are behind, it's of interest to us. But Upload, look, I took it as a comedy, slight dramatic series.
Yeah.
How would you label this?
I think I'd say the same thing. It's a dramatic comedy. It's very much it's more of a dark comedy. It's very much reflecting
yeah.
on the negatives of I mean it's ironic that Amazon did a show on rampant capitalism. I found it a little bit funny. I mean it's an incredible show and I'm very glad they greenlit it because it kickstarted my career. But yeah, I mean it was a lot of fun to work on it and it definitely feels like a dramatic comedy. It feels like something it's almost self-critical, but it's not quite that far. It's like it's self-reflecting, and it's a really funny show to watch.
It really is. The writing is terribly creative. It is funny. I'm disappointed that my youngest, my warrior, she goes with me everywhere. And, well, apparently not everywhere, but did not want to give it a time of day. I'm embarrassed to admit that. But Michael is the one that directed me to it, and I'm eternally grateful. And Upload is fun. I love the commentary, and I had forgotten the time frame. It's in 2033.
Right.
Yeah,
Which,
so
I mean,
that's
isn't
even
actually that far away. I mean,
No.
it is, but it's like less than a decade now.
not for you, Reese.
11
It's going to
years.
get here sooner than you think, and for us, it's like no,
It's
no,
tomorrow.
stay over there, stay. But no, it is cool. We've enjoyed it. The second season was good too, and thank you for answering that question about why you weren't in it. But it's good to know that there's going to be a third season and that you're going to be in it. And we're going to be looking forward to it. Now, Reese, as far as internet connectivity, do you have an online presence? I know maybe for legal reasons, maybe not. I don't know, but do you? If your fans, we don't know.
I mean,
How do they follow it?
I have an Instagram. I am
Awesome.
planning on putting a Twitter up at some point. I don't know when though, but I have an Instagram up. It's at Rhys Slack. But yeah, no, that's a good way to, if you want to follow me and look at my stuff.
And thank you for letting us know, the audience. I'm sure everyone watching was able to catch it. If not, they're going to look you up after this. So, who do you follow on your Instagram page? I know it's a bit embarrassing.
Who do I follow on my Instagram
Yeah.
page? Okay, hang on, let me check, because I haven't checked in a while. I mean, I follow pretty much every actor I've worked with. I haven't actually, and I follow some of my closer friends, and I follow most of the actors and actresses I've worked with on sets. That's mostly it though. It's mostly just people I'm friends with and my professional colleagues.
That is cool. That's good to know. All right, Michael. Any other questions right now?
I do have a question. Let me
Please.
get back to going back to, hopefully your next project. Is there any particular place you would like to go on location to film? Like a city or country or
I guess other than Quebec. And
Yeah,
Vancouver.
yeah.
I mean, I would love to go to Quebec again, but where would I like to go the most? That's a really hard question.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go to Alaska.
It's cold.
Yeah,
Thought you liked Alaska.
I do.
I'd say, I mean, pretty much anywhere in Europe, because a lot of those countries are really cool, and they've got a lot of history that I could look into while I'm not actually shooting anything. Probably, I wouldn't mind going to Germany. That I would actually really enjoy that.
Oh, yes. Without being super, super, super nosy, even more than we have been, where's your family line originate from? Are you European?
I am pretty much as pasty white boy as you can get. I am all of the UK. I am Irish, Scottish, Welsh, English, and then a little bit of kind of mixed European, I think. I don't entirely know. I know I'm from like all of the UK though.
That's cool. It's good to know. Well, yeah, Canada, a little bit from the UK. That is cool. I know that we did send you a few. I think we've already covered all the questions, and we've embarrassed you with quite a few more. I want to thank everyone. Look, seriously, Rhys, I apologize. I probably should not have done it, but I'm glad that they did come in and actually spend time with us. And that was cool. I'm sorry for the embarrassment, pal, but I'm sorry. I enjoyed it.
It was great. I enjoyed it as well.
Having to, and then they were friendly souls as well, so that was cool. There's a risk because when I don't know if you saw Michael's reaction, he's like, "Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?" We've unfortunately been punked. We actually not on video because we control it on the radio. Oh, we've had people call and act real stupid, but we're able to edit that stuff. Unfortunately, we're not able to edit this. We're not that smart.
No.
It is live and it is what it is. Rhys, do you have any questions for us? It's not a job interview. But
I do not. It's been a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed this.
Rhys, I do want to thank you. I don't want to belabor it anymore. Look, I hope it was more of a conversation than it was a genuine just question and answer. But
it was.
I have to tell you, young man, and I really did enjoy the program. You had me snickering at times, and you had me genuinely laughing out loud. And now knowing this tiny connection that we have, and knowing that your mom was on set, oh my God, watching the series again, it's going to be a lot more fun. And
Reese's mom was there.
Yes. I mean, of course they were, but we didn't give it that thought.
Yeah, that's not the first thing you think of when you see somebody like a kid on set. You don't think, oh yeah, their parents were there watching that.
I'm glad that your parents, are there supporting you in this endeavor. And
I am as well.
Heck yeah. Look, young man, you've made us laugh. You've made us laugh this evening. You've given us an insight that, you've blown us away. You are mature beyond your years, and I just cannot wait to see what else you're going to accomplish. You have 2 fans here. You have fans that are there, and those that are going to be watching you later. Is there anything that you would want to tell them direct right now? Like, to watch out for, or, these 2 idiots didn't ask the proper question, and now you want to make it clear?
Honestly, not really. I think we did a pretty good job covering it.
I'm glad. Any other than season 3 of Upload, is there anything else that we may be able to be on the lookout for?
Not at the moment. I've been sending out a numerous amount of auditions recently, but at the moment, no, there's not anything that I'm currently working on, and that's going to come out soon.
All right, fair enough. But we are looking forward to it. I know stuff is ramping up. How's Vancouver? I know it's like I'm getting close to ending and I come back. Vancouver's a big film industry town. Is it starting to ramp up again, or is it full force? What's the industry like right now?
Recently, actually, it's been quite quiet, but it's started to, like, I think starting last month, it's kind of, people have been starting to rent things out, and it started to pick up on auditions, and I think it's about to get into full swing of filming things, but it's starting to get a lot more busy here.
That's good. Well, we can't wait to see whatever else you're going to be in. We are going to be following your career. It's funny, I was actually trying to get into the thing right now, but we all know that screen from the iPhones. So all right, I'm having issues right now. But beyond that, Rhys, seriously, we appreciate what you're doing. Sir, young man, you've made my I've hurt in laughing, and I appreciate watching. I can't wait to see the other projects that we've talked about, and I look forward to it. And I can't wait to see what else you're going to be in. Young man, your career is on its way, and I am so glad that I get to have a front row seat on where it goes. Maybe one day in the future, we'll be able to have another conversation. Anytime you want to talk about any of your projects, just tell your agent, and we'll do it. We will. We will. We'll be glad to have a conversation. Anytime you want, Rhys, and anytime you want to talk about your projects, we would be humbled and honored and thrilled.
I will make sure to reach out to you.
I thank you ever so much. Michael, any last thoughts right now?
I just like to thank you for coming, because it was fun, and as I said, I sent out a lot of messages to people, and you said yes, and so it was like, yay! I went, Roger, guess what?
My jaw did drop. It did, and I was like, wow, because I had told Michael, if anyone would say yes, I really did.
You really did.
I said, I'm betting that if anyone says yes, it may be Rhys. Not because we didn't know it was your first interview. I just, for some reason, I said, if anyone, it's going to be.
I mean, I'm always happy to, like, if somebody asks me to come onto their show to have an interview, I mean, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, folks. Unless there's what?
I mean, unless there's like a really good reason professionally not to, I'm probably going to say yes.
Of course. I know, forgive me for the stuff. We've been on for a long time. I'm not going to name drop. Everyone who's been watching us knows we've been privileged to interview so many. And now you're right on that pedestal as well, Rhys. you are right there. We've interviewed quite a few people up in the Vancouver area over the last few years, and we may have had more interviews from the Vancouver area than everywhere and anywhere else, which is kind of cool. But a lot of stuff is happening up there. Look, yeah, I'm belaboring it. I know poor Michael. He's 4 hours ahead of us, and
3 hours ahead, but that's it.
I apologize. My
Okay.
math is failing me. Well, have they given you any update as to when Upload will be out?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I am in the dark.
All right. I understand. And that's cool. I know we've squeezed that lemon enough. I'm not going to belabor it. I want to give thanks to you, to everyone to allow you to be on. Oh, that was so messed up. I'm sorry. Did you have to ask mom and dad to be on the program?
No, I mean, they basically went, by the way, you're going on a program at this point. And I'm like, oh, cool, okay. And
wow.
Now I'm here.
Well, I hope they forgive us. So it's all
I'm
good.
sure they will.
Yeah. Oh.
My dad only holds a grudge for all his life. It's fine.
Well, I'm older. That's all I'm going to say. I'm betting I'm being older. There are senior laws. So, no, it's all good. All kidding aside. All right, Rhys. Seriously, thank you. I do thank everyone involved, everyone in the audience as well. If you do have any other questions, folks, again, just drop them up and we will send them to his agent. And who knows, he may be able to get back to us within a reasonable amount of time. But I'm gonna watch Upload again. It was a lot of fun. So, hey, do you get residuals?
I do not, because I got paid out for that.
Oh,
what happens?
man.
Honestly,
Okay.
most actors do. They get paid a little bit extra at the beginning, so that they don't have to get paid residuals over time.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to get into any more of that. I was gonna say, folks, residuals, watch it even more. But it doesn't matter. The more we watch it, the more opportunities for Rhys to be there. So, but I have a sneaky suspicion you're going to be scoring a lot of roles up front. So,
thank you.
All right. All kidding aside, Michael, why don't you go ahead and take us away? Seriously, Rhys, thank you, man. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future.
Yeah, check our webpage and see what's coming up. There's lots of good things. I'm just going to post the now I forgot the name of it. The Game of Thrones prequel show that Roger did last night. I'm posting that up on our page as soon as we get done here. And Todd Habercorn is going to be coming next month to Monday Night in America or Trekking Across the Universe. I'm not sure what show he's going to be on. But thanks again, everyone, for joining us. And everyone have a great evening. And thanks again, Rhys.
All right, folks. We're out of here. Peace!